Peace be with you and welcome to Spiritual Courts. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning back, welcome back. Listen, we're going to dive into this energy and just kind of see what's going on in collective energy. Shout out to all the beautiful gods and goddesses that come here to show me so much love. I send that right back to you. What I wish and want for myself, I absolutely want for you. You are my beautiful sisters. Shout out to the beautiful, eminent, just illuminated, divine feminine energy. She is so radiant as she gives birth to a new planet Kai. Listen, I just heard labor pains. So come on in, my beautiful divine goddesses. I love y'all so very much. Thank you for the love, the support, the messages that y'all write sometimes, they just wrap around me. And sometimes, I go through things like everybody else. You just encourage me, you inspire me. Even if you just drop a heart, it radiates with good intentions. And I thank you for reflecting back to me the same love that I'm sending to you. May our love grow. May it get bigger. May we be a beautiful example of what the world is about to have to mimic. It's like get in line by way of your heart chakra. Are you out of line and you're going to get taken out type energy? That's where we are. We're a mirroring energy right now. We are water. That's what we are. We're in that Queen of Cups energy. We're in that Queen of Pentacles energy, grounded, sound, but we will also get into that Queen of Wands energy with fire by way of confidence, by way of tough love, right? By way of assuring that everybody respects spiritual law. Thank you. And with the Queen of Swords in the upright, divine feminine energy, she carries the sword of truth because she's right and she's in order and she has given birth to everything in creation. That alone deserves a lot of respect. And so for that, my beautiful mothers, sisters, daughters, I love y'all so much. I do. You are the reason that we are in this season, and you need to know that you're being held in high regard. This is your time. What's going on, Holy Spirit? Secure foundation, okay? So earlier I pulled some cards where it was talking about opposition in the camps. It was given like gang stalking, y'all. I know sometimes this is a little difficult for us to even wrap our minds around this level of hatred, but it does exist, unfortunately. You have some people in unfortunate circumstances, mentally mostly, right? That could be watching you online. They report the page or they're just looking for any little thing because for some reason, misery just loves company and that makes them really, really happy. As sad as it is to report the truth when it comes to that, that is absolutely the truth. I'm going to go ahead and dive into this energy though. But with Secure Foundation, I feel like this is piggybacking off of a prerequisite reading that I did again privately right after my meditation. Okay. So newcomers, you could hear some highs and some low frequencies in the background. That's simply to ward off any low vibrational frequencies and allow me to transmute the bullshit, turn it into stardust so that me and the beautiful divine feminines can give birth to the new stars and the moon and the sun and things like that. Okay. So now we are taking whatever somebody is sending us. I cannot make this up. 5 of Pentacles. I felt like somebody wanted you homeless, honey. Somebody wanted you out in the cold. Somebody wanted you just to be struggling. But your foundation is secure. So Spirit is saying, fret not. Okay. You could have had a rocky moment. You could have had a rocky moment when it came to possibly your finances. This was absolutely somebody wishing this on you. They could have been doing a little spell work. But if you know, like I know, that when people do spell work, it's just it's a really good opportunity, honestly, to just know who you are. That's really what it is, in my opinion, at this point. Bear with me as I get these cards together, y'all. I might have shuffled these a little too soon. Okay. So secure foundation. Your foundation is secure. All right. And you got people that are trying to figure out how. Okay. So ops in the camp. That was the card that came out. Opposition. And I said, well, in order to be like in an opposing energy, somebody has to be trying to go against your high frequency, which means that if they're trying to go against your high frequency, they're not in alignment with you. They don't resonate with you. They're in a low vibrational frequency, right? So the fact that they're not able to bring you down to this low vibrational frequency leaves them with a whole bunch of problems because now they're submerged and or drowning in these low vibrations that they've sent out that they don't really know how to process and or neglect, right? They should be neglecting these lower frequencies. Like, again, if somebody doesn't come along by way of their energy, high frequency to correct you, the planet is absolutely going to correct you or neglect you. Okay. So it's given earthbound prayers, diabolical prayers that are earthbound. It's an energy of being casted out, quite honestly. It really is. Like that frequency has to die. But who's going to tell them that it's already dead? Okay. So we could be talking to people that are just dead, y'all. Okay. But secure foundation, something about your money, something about your stability or something like that. Okay. Somebody wanted you kind of laid out. Hold on, y'all. And putting something to rest. Show me what I need to see, Holy Spirit. But that won't happen. Your money is protected. Something that's coming in. This is the thing. When you stay in alignment and you do your best to stay in that high frequency and you master yourself, that you're not easily accessible to low vibrational people on a whim, right? That's like when, that person, I don't know who it was, child, there's so many of them, but somebody came along to the platform and she was saying some things that I don't even know who this person is. She was saying some things that were very true to her, but I couldn't resonate with it. But she was saying it about me. So I never really connected to the negativity in the way that I feel she anticipated. And so I ended up praying for her. Well, I haven't seen her since. Okay. So hopefully whatever was going on internally, she has worked that out enough that she won't be out here trying to commit, spiritual manslaughter. Okay. Needless to say, I didn't resonate with the energy. So I said, well, what was the purpose of that? I said, oh, it's to keep me ungrounded. Okay. Or to put me in a negative frequency, right? Because I was just in a high frequency. I could wrap my head around it once I really sat down and thought about it, but I really didn't feel like it. So I gave it a few seconds. I processed it, transmuted it, prayed about it, and I released it back into the universe to balance it out, literally, right? And so with Secure Foundation, you got people that they want to disrupt your peace. We know this to be a fact. I feel like this candle is not feng shuiing, honey. Hold on. I got spiritual OCD. Things have to be in order. Is that in alignment? Okay, I feel like it is. Okay. Thank you for that commercial break. Back to this regularly scheduled program here at Spiritual Court TV. You got the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. Whatever you are working on, when you are in alignment, when you are paying attention to your divine assignment, you're aware that there's frequencies that are unhappy, but you don't adhere to them in the way, again, like the way somebody thinks that you need to. I just heard you're too submerged and or marinated in high frequency for anything to penetrate that. Somebody thought they were going to shake up your foundation, okay, by way of your finances. With the Seven of Wands, the ancestors are saying something is fair, something is being balanced out with the Six of Pentacles. So whatever belongs to you is coming in, Holy Spirit. Thank you. That card wanted to come out. Oh, look, I can't make it up. So Ace of Pentacles, it's almost like somebody wishing you poverty, and the universe is saying, you know what? We really like the fact that you're standing in a high frequency. You're not feeding these low vibrational frequencies. We're just going to give you double for your trouble here. It's giving that kind of energy, right? So here you are in the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. This is you finding the strength to move forward with the Chariot, okay? Willpower, overcoming. Cancerian energy. Cancerian energy is about balancing out the feminine and emotional energies, okay? By way of your breastplate, by way of the righteousness, by way of the waters that flows from your breast, right? And when I mean that, I mean the energy that flows out from your breast. Cancerian rules the breast area. It represents mothering, nurturing, right? And then when a woman is impregnated with a child, her body naturally produces milk. Don't you just love the way the Most High God, the way she created the feminine body is so smart. It's so good, right? Just thinking about that makes me happy. But Cancerian season was really about nurturing. It was about flow. And I really feel like Gaia began to weep in a way that she created storms, y'all. We're watching her go through her labor pains, right? So when the waters came and the flooding came and the storms came, her water broke. Not only is she done with low vibrational frequencies, she will not tolerate low vibrational frequencies. So when you have somebody that is doing root work, or they're trying to root something and bind you to something really, really dark, but you're really connected to the planet Earth, to nature, the animals, just in life. You're having a good life as you walk throughout this earth. You are walking through what you've given birth to, and you have every right to leave your imprint on this beautiful mother of a planet. These people fudged around and messed up whoever they are. Your foundation is secure. So if you were going through something, you like, yo, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? What's happening? You just had a whole bunch of people, honestly, that were in a low vibrational frequency, be this the past, the present, or what they thought they were projecting into your future. They literally are going through this energy of low frequency, not being able to produce, not creative, not feeling conducive to high frequency character by way of spiritual behavior, quite literally in that order. So they're simply projecting onto you how they're feeling in a lack mindset. And this is what they thought you would just receive without saying anything. It's giving just lay down and let me wipe my feet upon you. But you are the divine feminine energy. You carry the divine masculine energy. You give birth to everything in creation. Secure foundation. That is your earth. That is what's under your feet. That is what is keeping you stable. Okay. You got the Four of Swords. Four of Swords represents meditation, rest and relaxation. That's what I just heard. Some of you could have taken a break. You could have felt this feeling of exhaustion. Okay. For those of you that know what it feels like to have a child and give birth, you know that feeling when you give life, something changes. Somebody try to say something to you like, I just gave birth to a whole person, baby, with 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, and etc. You will not. The warrior. That I really feel like after giving birth, one is in the Queen of Cups energy. And then when you give birth or you push a child out, and even if you are not able to push a child out, you've carried life in your body. Maybe you had a C-section, doesn't matter. You turn into the Queen of Wands because there's a fire now in your spine by way of the Kundalini awakening. You see life completely different. You're now responsible for a whole person. For those of you that have really good maternal instincts. And so I feel like you extended that nurturing to yourself. That's really what Cancerian season was about. We can't account for the people that were on demon time. Did you not just see storms and hail fall in the middle of July as we promised, as it was prophesied? Okay. So you had somebody that was trying to attack your foundation, but you're still coming out with the 10 of Pentacles. I cannot make this up. This could be real generational wealth, something that you're building, long-lasting money, something like that. Whatever this is, it's financial, y'all. This is also spiritual gifts, your ability to adhere to spiritual law, transmute energy. Your enemies did you a really big favor. You got the Two of Cups. This is coming into union with your higher self, coming into an agreement with your masculine and feminine energies in a balance. Men, you are not exempt from this. High vibrational divine masculines, you're not exempt at all. I can't make it up. You're coming up as the high priestess, quite intuitive, the Queen of Cups energy, caring, loving, kind, Cancerian, Piscean energy, Scorpionic energy, the Three of Wands, you are moving forward, the King of Swords, something about you being in this standing your ground, very solid. Sometimes you walk, okay? First you crawl, then you stand, and then you walk. But really, you walk and then you stand. That means that no matter what comes, no matter what goes, you are able to weather the storm by way of going with what appears to be a beautiful flow. King of Swords is also about speaking the truth. Big Gemini energy. Look at the Lovers. Big Gemini energy. You know what's so interesting, y'all, is I was going on my hike today. I'm just like going up the hill and I'm like, okay, God, I'm done. I done went around here. I done went up this hill like 10 times and y'all, it's a real serious hill. Okay. But my body loves me for it. And I love that hill. And let me just tell you, I kept hearing nature talk to me. I mean, she was so beautiful. It was like a symphony. The birds were chirping at the right time. The wind was blowing at the right time. Then there was like a high pitched sound that sounded like a shamanic flute. And I looked around and I'm like, what animal is out here making that noise? All praises be to the divine feminine who gave birth to everything in creation. Our mother who gave birth to the heavens, the stars, the moon, and the sun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then as I'm walking, I'm laughing because I'm like, ooh, retrograde is funny. I'm having these thoughts in my mind, right? I said, retrograde is funny. Child, retrograde is so funny. Let me tell you how retrograde is. Retrograde is so funny. So as I'm going on my path, I see two people that look exactly the same. Oh, coincidentally, they were twins. This is how funny retrograde is. They both said at the same time, good morning. I said, oh, no, I'm not mourning. Supreme being, natural mother Kai rising, honey. That's what I said to myself. But I knew what they meant. And it was two Geminis. And it was so interesting the way they were finishing each other's sentence. I thought it was interesting. So I just laughed. I said, Mercury is funny. I said, I could be anywhere and I'd have to see a set of twins. Everything in creation is a sign, right? So with the hangman, this was spirit calling you to see something from a different perspective. Okay, that's all this was about, because these cycles are over. They're done. Big retrograde energy. The hangman represents you seeing something from a different perspective and continuing to see things by way of love. Look at the way Gemini energy keeps coming out. Big retrograde. So this retrograde is going to be quite easy peasy, nice and greasy. I promise you that. It won't be sleazy. Somebody wanted it to be sleazy. That's what I just heard. Your foundation is secure. I cannot make it up. You got the Emperor in the reverse. So you had somebody out here that wanted to dominate your foundation, okay? Dominate your root chakra. You know, what keeps you grounded? It is your knowing. It is you knowing who you are. When you know who you are, nobody can come along and tell you anything, right? So you got the Emperor in the reverse, okay? The Emperor in the reverse could be anybody. This is just a negligent human being, if to even call them that. We'll just call them diabolical creatures, okay? Because that's what they are. And Planet Kai don't want you here no more. You're not welcome. Okay? You will continue to stand as Five of Cups. In no way does Mama Gaia, Planet Kai, the Earth, whatever you want to call her, the Great Divine Mother, no more will she process your diabolicalness. So now you got to sit in it. So whatever energy you sit out is stuck to you. Whatever you sent out, whatever you were sowing that you were attempting to reap some type of benefit off of the backs of somebody else that was moving in their divine feminine energy. Because again, there's divine masculines that are waking up, and the only way they can wake up is they got to adhere to their divine feminine energy. There's no other way to do it. Big divine feminine energy is absolutely dominant when it comes to our current energies right now. With the Emperor in the reverse, somebody is sitting up sad and mad because they weren't able to shake your foundation. This could be somebody that's having issues with their foundation. Okay, this could be mentally. These cards want to say so much, child. I'm trying to get them going. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the Ten of Cups. I cannot make this up. So the Ten of Cups is like your home life. That's your family life. That's your happiness. Even if you're single, okay? Even if you're single, even if your children are grown or whatever this is, your house is your humble abode. It is the place that you set apart from this world where you go, where you can have peace. Whatever is in your house is a reflection of how you feel. Maybe you have a beautiful plant. Maybe you have a nice picture hanging. Maybe there's something that you see the moment you walk in and you're like, oh, I'm home. Or you just feel this safety. I don't know about y'all, but my house hugs me. It's not overcrowded. It's spacious, but it's very, very peaceful, right? And so when your foundation is secure, whoever this person is that was attempting to shake up your foundation, they absolutely just got you blessed, okay? You're about to get double for your trouble. Child, these cards, come on, y'all. Like, what is going on with the cards? It's funny because I mixed these cards up. It's so funny. And the yellow and the red cards are together. These are some of my favorite cards. Holy Spirit, show me what I need to see. Yeah, you got the Knight of Pentacles energy. You got somebody now that wants to come in. They may need your help. With the Knight of Pentacles energy, this is somebody that's coming in with very little. They're saying this is all that I have, but it's only because you're in the Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and you're in a secure foundation, and you got Judgment here. Okay, so judgment is at hand. Somebody knows that they owe you something. This Knight of Pentacles energy could also be somebody knowing that they owe you an apology. You're coming out as the star, big Aquarius energy. Come through. You are the water bearer. You are mother, 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 water bearer energy. Look at the star energy, honey. You come to bring life. You bless the waters, okay? This is what I just heard. The water that flows within you. Okay, so some of you are staying hydrated, you minding your business. Maybe you're putting a little bit of cucumber in your water. I don't know about y'all, but I got a little bit of everything in my water. By way of the waters within, I cannot make this up. Can y'all see that? The color? Okay, there's a lot of good stuff in there. There's cinnamon, there's blue magic, which is basically spirulina, I do believe it's called. Okay, but needless to say, staying hydrated because you represent water keeps your life at a flow. It just puts you in a flow energy, right? You don't ever want to have any blockages within your body. In order to flow, one has to breathe in a rhythm. One has to walk in a rhythm. One has to have their chakras in alignment so that everything that is on the inside of you is operating in a way that there is flow, right? So Four of Pentacles, needless to say, you could have had to pull back on your finances or something like that. Yeah. With the Four of Pentacles, though, this is also representing not penny pinching energy, but really securing the bag, securing your foundation, making sure that you have the things that you need, right? There's one thing to want something, but to have your necessities is a whole nother ball of wax. Okay. So Five of Cups, somebody's under severe judgment. Okay. And they're coming through with this little page energy. Page and Knight of Cups energy is quite suspicious. Clarify the Five of Cups and the Emperor in the reverse. Something was unsuccessful. I feel like somebody tried to curse you, hex you, and they just got you blessed. Yeah, you're being celebrated with the Three of Cups. The Eight of Swords, this person is bound to this. They're in spiritual jail. Page of Cups, they're coming up as a page because they're very immature. When I mean immature, somebody did something that they didn't even know why they were doing it. They did something that they didn't think out all the way. It was a premature plan, right? They never foresaw that they would be the ones in the Five of Cups with the Emperor in the reverse. Emperor in the reverse is somebody who's ungrounded, unstable. They are impulsive. Their fire is out of control. You know, they're a live wire. They get mad real fast and, you know, they blame everybody else. And it's always everybody else's fault. And that's just what it is. Who is this person? Nobody knows. Could be a karmic feminine, could be a karmic masculine. It's just a diabolical energy in the Five of Cups, depressed, low vibrational. That's just what it is. They're already in spiritual jail. Okay. So with the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, this is somebody that is hoping that you will lighten their sentence, right? But they don't know. They've already been bound to whatever energy that they've sent out. And there's really nothing else that you can do. You're simply being guided to secure your foundation and stand your ground. Look at the Seven of Wands. Stand your ground. King of Cups energy, controlling your emotions, nurturing oneself, nurturing your masculine energy and your feminine energy. You got the King to the Queen of Cups, and listen to your intuition. Okay. This could have been somebody that you were forced to make a decision with the Two of Swords. Okay. Somebody was blinded to the truth. Somebody wanted you to be blinded to your justice, blinded to your Ten of Pentacles, blinded to the energy that you absolutely deserve wholeheartedly. Temperance energy. Big Archangel Michael's in the building. Big Sagittarius energy. Big spiritual war energy. You got energies in the atmosphere that are warring for you over your inheritance. You cannot miss your inheritance. Somebody comment down below. They may have delayed it just a little bit, right? And that just meant there was something that we needed to pay attention to, but they absolutely cannot stop it. I cannot make this up. Archangel Michael again is in the building. Look at all the angels around you, war angels. Shout out to the Sagittarius energies. Shout out to the fiery war angels, okay? We are so grateful for your fiery prayers, your warfare prayers. You know, these are the people that can pray by way of fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, and you get it popping spiritually for things that are unjust. This is somebody that abused their power. This is a fallen angel energy. This is somebody that's fallen from grace. They could have had gifts at one point, but they've used and abused them. And so now they're grieving the fact that they've lost whatever connection this was to source after trying to attack source. We don't need to know why. We don't need to know your reasons. All we know is that in spiritual court, all things are being made fair. And if this high vibrational person, Queen of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, High Priestess energy, clarifying the High Priestess, the star, the lovers, divine masculine, feminine energy. If they're in this energy, that means that you had no reason to be this diabolical, because the universe is fair. There's only one way to get to this high vibrational frequency, and that is love. So you attack somebody with perfect love and you try to shake their foundation by way of sending them hate. This is the reason that you're bound to this. Nobody's coming to pay you a spiritual conjugal visit. It's a hell to the no. Keep your little breadcrumb. It's a no. Keep your little cracker crumb, your little crouton. You got the Four of Wands, something about celebration. Okay. This is also Four of Wands, is war energy, Aries energy, the Hermit energy, as we're being guided to continue to go within. Page of Pentacles. Okay. This is also you caring for your children. This is also you being patient with adults that act like children. Okay. That time is up. Sometimes you got to hand these people over to themselves. Okay. But with the King of Cups energy, big masculine energy, you got a lot of divine masculines that are tapping into their feminine energy, that are balancing out their emotions, that are being fit and or created right now. Like they're co-creating themselves, giving birth to new versions of themselves. Divine feminine, as you give birth to a new version of yourself, as your waters flow, you're absolutely assisting your masculines by way of doing the same thing and giving them what appears to be a safe haven, a place of peace, so that they too can go into their feminine energy and balance out their masculine and feminine energies. This is radiant energy. These are deeper partnerships, okay? This could be somebody that maybe you're in a relationship with, or maybe you will never be in a relationship again, but you understand the royal cosmic family by way of divine intervention. We are assisting these masculines. The more we raise our feminine vibration of what we've given birth to, be them near or far, here or there, or maybe wherever they're at, we are absolutely showing them what it is that they need to mirror back to us. And so that the universe continues to aid and assist us. Divine intervention is absolutely here. She's so beautiful when she shows up. Isn't divine intervention beautiful? She's coming up as the Queen of Swords, divine feminine energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, to balance things out. Big Gemini energy, big Libran energy, balancing out the scales. Big Mayat energy, big Sekhmet energy, big Nephis energy, come through with the come through. Big Isis energy with the Six of Wands energy, big Leo energy, okay? So something about Leo energy is about to balance something out. You got the Magician. Magician represents alchemy. Magician represents, you know, you taking something that could have been soiled and or just something that these people fumbled. I just heard whatever that something was. This could have been the knowledge to do certain things. Whatever this is, they abused their power. They fumbled their gifts. They fell from grace. That's just what it is. And that's how it's going. But you are the alchemist. You could take anything. You are the great mother. The great mother is within you. You took darkness, triple darkness, and you gave birth by way of the immaculate conception, no penetration, and you gave birth to the gods and all 12 stars, all 12 tribes of Judah, all the world's lineages. You gave birth. That is alchemy. So you could take anything by way of the valley and the shadow of death and give it light. And when you said, let there be light, divine feminine, you saw the light and it was good. Now you got some people who getting a light put out because they went up against the divine feminine nature. Somebody that is here to guide people back to their feminine nature. Be you a masculine or a feminine. Again, feminine nature is where it started. There's no way to get around it, and somebody's finding out the hard way. You thrusted these people into some type of cavern, some type of escapade of mental torment and hell with the Nine of Swords. Queen of Pentacles, your foundation is secure. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, big planet Kai energy, big Mama Gaia energy. Yeah, the Three of Swords. This was hard because being mothers, being women, divine feminine women, you know, the last thing we want to do is get into that energy of chaos. Although if you force us, we can absolutely give it, you know, that attention. We can give you what it is that you thought you were looking for, only to turn you back on yourself, and you sitting back and your mind is mirroring back to you all your diabolicalness. And now you got to hear all the echoes of all these demonic things that you thought about and what you thought you were sending towards somebody else. You absolutely have to sit in that. You absolutely have to marinate in that as long as you need to. For some of these people, it's all of eternity, because not only did they do this in this life, they did it in many, many lifetimes, but their time is up. Gaia has to give birth. She's been having labor pains, okay? So look out for those earthquakes as she starts to give birth to new dimensions with great intentions. Look out for it. Page of Swords, look out for that. Pay attention. Get information. Something about being educated, okay? Something about education, y'all. You got the Seven of Swords. You got some sneaky little weird ass people that was out here watching, that was trying to block your intuition because they're sitting out here with their lights put out. They don't want you to know that they're in the Five of Cups, in this Emperor in the reverse. Emperor in the reverse is hard to see on any person by way of that being a karmic feminine or masculine. I think the hardest ones to watch are karmic feminines that go against divine feminine nature. It's like watching them go against themselves and an idea of what it is that they could be if they just listen and pay attention and ascend properly, but instead they go against other women. How? It's so unnatural. Shout out to the women that had to get into that Queen of Swords energy. You had to speak the truth. Big Gemini energy. I can't make it up. Look, big Gemini energy. Big Page of Wands energy. These are the educators. These are the ones that are teaching you and guiding you back to self. Now, some of these people, they've been gone for so long, they've been lost for so long that they refuse to admit the truth. And that's unfortunate, because if you're dedicated to not believing the truth, that means that you are willing to believe a lie. And that's sad. Why would you want that for yourself when the truth is right in your face? We are in the age of Aquarius. All things are made transparent. There is nothing that cannot be found out by way of spirit. Like nothing. When you're in this beautiful alignment, that high priestess energy is something that you can easily tap into by way of your third eye, not being blind. But with the hermit in the reverse, I feel like somebody was behind the scenes watching you. I feel like a lot of public eye energy here, y'all, especially in the spiritual community. I feel like a lot of these people were so angry that you were exposing them, but they took it quite literally and personal, which they should have. But in an attempt to wake them up, they misunderstood it because they had no understanding. Instead, they just decided to give you the evil eye. But how can they do that when you're coming out as the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess? You come bearing gifts by way of knowledge, love, and light. And you got the Ten of Pentacles, abundance and stability. Ace of Pentacles, some type of new spiritual gift coming in. And you got the Six of Pentacles. This is the universe saying, give me what you owe me. That's what the universe is saying to all these high vibrational people. You are the reason that the earth hasn't ended yet, high frequency people. Okay? You're a little high frequency, even if you just smile at somebody today, whether they smile back or not, you just put high frequency into the atmosphere. And the universe is like, yeah, I'll take it. Guy is like, cool. Kai is like, yeah, we'll take it. Those little bitty frequencies are very, very big. It absolutely supersedes all negativity. So when you have people in this insidious energy with the Seven of Swords, thinking of how they can cook up something that is absolutely going to get them singed, it is crazy to think about. The Hermit in the reverse, these people wanted to upset your secure foundation. How can you shake up a foundation that is secure, that is deeply rooted in the divine? How? Right? That's a rhetorical question because there really is no way. So it was a foolish plan, y'all. Okay? Somebody should have told them. Somebody should have learned them. Somebody should have unlearned them. Somebody should have schooled them. But even if you tried, these are people that were dedicated to ignorance, okay? It's very hard to watch, especially when you are a lover of people and what you want for yourself, you want for everybody else. Clarify current energy, Holy Spirit. You got romance that came out in the reverse. For some of you, it's a lot of toxic lovers that was out here trying to attack you, be these feminine and or masculines. Okay, look, they were nothing but a karmic lesson. You processed it, you learned it, and you gained some wisdom. For a lot of you, you're looking better than you've ever looked in your life. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I'm aging backwards. I do. I honestly do. I do. I look at some of the pictures that I was in when I was in a karmic lesson. Whoo, child, I was looking at my younger self like, girl, you better hurry up and get up out of there. Reconcile, reconciliation. Okay. So you got karmic people from the past that wanted this reconciliation with you. Why? Because you're being celebrated. You're celebrating yourself. Even if you're just staying to yourself, minding your business, feeling good, complimenting yourself. Yeah, they're angry. Somebody is angry about the fact that you're in this secluded energy, something about separation, reflection, and or soul searching. So somebody didn't have the ability to do that. Okay. And unfortunately, the romance is not going to take place because what is this? How can we make love and you don't like yourself? Let's start there. How can we even make anything that is anything that like resonates with the frequency of love, whatever you conceive that to be, right? Love is peaceful, it's kind, it's joyful, it's all the things that I can give myself. With my cup being full, the overflow is what I extend by way of a romantic partnership. These people were just karmic lessons, though. So if romance is in the reverse, this is like toxic sex and reckless sex. And nah, we're not even in this energy. We don't even do that. What are you talking about? We got the wisdom, reconciliation, and secluded. So you're in hermit mode. Some of these people tried to isolate you. Okay. They tried to isolate you. Somebody is really upset that they weren't successful with stopping you from moving forward, stopping you from being beautiful, stopping you from being handsome, whatever the case. Somebody is completely and totally fed up. So this could be like a love spell that backfired. A lot of ex-lovers, y'all. A lot of ex-lovers that are now like, oh my God, they're under pressure. Look at this person. Stressed out, got headaches, low blood pressure, high blood pressure. His heart is palpitating and is beating slow at the same time. Or she, and he could be a she. One thing about the universe is not prejudiced when it comes to gender. It's absolutely very prejudiced though, and judgmental when it comes to high frequency and low frequency. It doesn't mean that anger doesn't exist, but this is reckless anger. This is like people that ain't got no reason. They just really mad at themselves. And so they want people to feel the heat. I just heard the heat that's moving through your body. Okay, so somebody could be really running hot. Somebody could be running a fever. Somebody's pissed off, feeling pissed on to the highest point of festivity by way of the universe. Well, you know, when it rains, it pours. Quite literally. I meant that figuratively, literally, quite literally, more so than anything. Under pressure. Somebody has anxiety. They need to make a decision. Maybe that's that Two of Swords energy. Time is running out. Okay. You got bisexual, unsure of their sexuality. They got secrets. They're in the closet. They're on the DL. Okay. So somebody's struggling with their sexuality again. Could be a feminine, could be a masculine. I feel like they're struggling with whether or not they want to love themselves. I think this is bigger than sex. Sex is, you know, something that we do that is supposed to be good. Okay. But being bisexual and unsure, under pressure, anxiety, decisions, time running out. I feel like somebody's just confused about whether or not they like themselves or not. I think it's bigger than LGBTQ. I do. I think it's bigger than that. I think this has got something to do with a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, love spell. Anybody doing love spells to this capacity don't like themselves. Somebody should have did a love spell on themselves. Put yourself under a love spell. Get up in the morning and be like, oh, I love myself. I love you so much. I love every little stretch mark, every little dimple, every little roll, every little imperfection is perfect. Like that's a love spell. Like speak that onto yourself, spell that out. Okay, speak that into the atmosphere, believe it, and keep loving on yourself. But somebody with romance in the reverse and love spell, that's like domination, sex magic, or something like that. Somebody is all over the place though. They'll sleep with a boy, a girl, a cat, a dog, a low vibrational entity. This person is just simply low vibrational. They're non-committal. Because even if they're in a same-sex relationship, they're not committed. It's giving that kind of energy. They're not committed to nobody. They're not even committed to themselves to like themselves. Yeah, this is why they're giving you mixed signals, because somebody's ass is all over the place. This person is going through some type of deliverance that has nothing to do with sex. I also feel like somebody has a sex addiction. Yeah, their true colors are shining through. You know exactly what's going on. You're the high priestess. Your intuition is on point. You know exactly what this is. Okay? So you got this person on blocked, spam, calls and texts. This could be somebody that's like a scam likely. Maybe they're calling, hanging up, calling you from different numbers, whatever this is. Somebody's trying to give you mixed signals to keep you in a state of confusion. Well, one thing about the high priestess, she don't do confusion, honey. She can cause chaos by way of nature and uproot your whole foundation. And you'll look around and realize that your shit was built on sinking sand, quicksand. I'm just saying, that's the truth. Yeah, stop playing around out here. What's going on? And you minding your business. Yeah, look, massive regrets. Somebody's out here praying and crying at the same time, but they want to dominate you and they're mad and they can't dominate themselves. Dominate yourself. Dominate your own mind before you try to control somebody else's mind. Dominate your own mouth before you try to shut somebody up. Dominate your own sexual energy before you realize what it is that you want. Somebody's all over the place. They want you, they want him, they want her, they want this, but they don't want themselves. Somebody uses other people to kind of shield the fact that they don't really like themselves. Look, backstabber. Smiling in your face all the time. They want to just come in and create chaos in your space. In your face. It's a backstabber. Pain, cheating, deception, mind games, love bomber. Hell no. Get away. Rebuke. Send that person back to go look at themselves. That's a scary place. Trust me. When you don't know yourself and you got to look at yourself, that shit will scare the hell out of you. That is the dark night of the soul. Look at this person. They got to look at themselves. This reminds me of the Kendrick Lamar song where he was like, mustard. This reminds me of like, justice. Mayat, 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 bring the scales, scales, scales. Mayat out here weighing the scales. She's so fair. Don't play with her. Don't think you're going to try to come in and tip the scales in your favor. Okay, when you got bad behavior and we tried to tell you, you coming out as a whole jackass face, goat face ass clown. You're the only person in your circus. You're being forced into the dark night of the soul. Retrograde is about to take names. And you're coming out as somebody who's secure. You're somebody that's coming out that's very confident. Big divine feminine energy, queen bee energy, career focused. You're bossy right now. You know, I'm bossy. I'm the first girl to scream on the track. I switched up the beat of the drums. That's right. I brought all the boys to the yard. Okay. I got a couple of people that got my name tattooed on their arm. I hope they covered it up. I'm the one that's tattooed on his arm. I'm bossy. Queen Bee could be a masculine too, okay? We are not gender prejudiced, although we gave birth to everybody. We are not gender prejudiced, but Queen Bee is divine feminine energy. Secure, you're confident, your foundation is secure, okay? So something about mirroring, okay? Look at you reflecting back to people what they need to see. You're in this water energy, Queen of Cups energy, the reflection, you're just reflecting back out into the universe what it is that you want, and somebody can't ignore your reflection. It forces them to see themselves, and this is what this person sees when they look in the mirror. A clown is somebody who is, there's a lot going on behind all this makeup. There's a lot going on behind all this jackassness, all this clown activity. Somebody is really sad. They're massively in regret. Their games are not working no more. The mixed signals and mind games have flopped. Somebody doesn't have a pot to tinkle in and a window to throw it out of. They're full of a whole bunch of stuff that they need to get rid of. They need to empty their dirty ass cup. Look, selfish, ego, stubborn, pride, my way or the highway. Who are they talking to? When they're sitting in this, it's my way, I said, who are you talking to? You by yourself. You done ran every good person off. Ma'am, sir, it's Carmet, Carmisha, Carmelata. Listen, you have done everything in your power. So you sitting in the presence of yourself with pride and ego and stubbornness and selfishness my way. So this is the real reason that you are alone, because you've been abandoned, because nobody's putting up with that energy. Not people that really love themselves. Look at self-love. I can't make this up. Nobody's gonna put up with that. For what? Especially when that's not the energy that you're giving birth to. When you're coming out in this very self-love energy, and this is not, oh, excuse me, the energy that you're giving birth to, you don't resonate with this. It's so easy to leave somebody sitting in their own tantrum. Like, what are you doing? Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is joy. So who is this? So somebody's sitting by themselves, giving themselves mixed signals, or they're playing games with people that are playing games with them. Because with mirroring, somebody's meeting people that are just like them or worse off. That'll teach them. Sometimes you got to see your bad behavior on other people in order to really sit down and check yourself before you wreck yourself type ass energy. Yeah, I can't make this up. So this says ghosted, off and on, hot and cold, detached. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for games like this. Whoever this is, it's a hell to the no. The ghosting, the off and on, the in and out, the hot and cold. You black, you white, you green, you over here. It's a gray area. No, listen. Is it murky water or can we see through it? We're in the age of Aquarius. It's the time for transparency. We ain't got time, boo. Yeah, look. And STD came out in the reverse. Oh my God. Listen, clarify STD. Somebody got a lot going on. Somebody got a lot going on. They sleeping with too many people. Somebody's in debt. Is that what this means? Bad credit, unemployment, and debt. So this person is miserable. So whoever this emperor in the reverse is, again, could be a karmic feminine in her masculine toxicity type of an energy. I mean, testosterone is a hell of a drug if you don't know how to balance it out within oneself. Okay. Somebody's addicted to being toxic and they already their life is falling apart. So they figured, oh, well, I'll just send some of this energy your way. I'll project it onto you. But you have completely detached divine collective, divine feminine, divine masculine. You're not available to receive any of this. Who the hell's on the reciprocal end of the bullshit? Excuse my language, but that's exactly what it is. Okay. Fake busy. Somebody acting like they busy. They ain't got nothing going on. They out here faking like they got it going on. This reminds me of the people that, you remember when you were in school and you'd be doing your work. And when the teacher came in, you always had the class clown that really wasn't doing anything, just copying off of everybody's paper. But the moment the teacher came in, they started writing. They were fake busy, Oh no, I'm doing my work. But they were only doing it when they realized that the teacher was watching. This says truth, discovery, awakening, illumination. You cannot put somebody back to sleep, okay? I was going to say black to sleep. Somebody wanted you in complete and total darkness and you could see through the dark too. You're like, baby, listen, I create light from triple darkness. Are you crazy? Darkness is my ally. Are you crazy? Truth, discovery, awakening, and illumination. Yeah, somebody wanted you to unsee something, unsee their toxic behavior with unchanged characteristics. How you coming along asking for some form of reconciliation and you're more screwed up than how somebody left you, who's returning to that? No, and you got some real divine masculines out here. Okay, so ain't nobody putting up with that. For what? We got real divine feminines and masculines out here. Yeah, look, rejected. We're rejecting anything that does not vibrate at a high frequency, right? So you could have some people that's like, oh, you stuck up. Oh, you think you too good. Yeah, we do. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You damn right. Better than this. Especially after you've done the work. You're going through a beautiful awakening, truth discovery and awakening, child. These people should have unalived you when they had the chance. And even when they did, you just resurrected, alchemized death. Somebody trying to give you, reconcile with you to trap you. If you don't get your punk ass up out of here with your STD, somebody trying to trap you, possibly with a baby. Somebody had plans for this diabolical that could never happen again in this lifetime or the next ones for all eternity. They had plans for this reconciliation. Okay. They got a lot going on. They'll sleep with anybody. They sleeping with people at the job. They sleeping with the neighbor. They'll sleep with your friend if this person is just as diabolical as them. I love it when people cheat with people that are close to you because I feel like it's a match. I feel like you should just get out of the way and let these people be together. Yeah, whenever somebody thinks that they're stabbing you in the back or cheating with your friend or family member, whatever these diabolical people think of, whatever is going on parasitically, okay, whatever is controlling them, okay, that is very not of nature. It's unnatural. It doesn't resonate with what Gaia is representing right now, right? I just get out the way. I feel like let these people be together. I've had people come to me that's like, oh, he cheated with my friend. I was like, send her a thank you note. Send him a thank you note. You get up and get yourself together, walk away, get that karmic lesson challenge. Let them people stay right there where they at. Maybe they understand each other, but they ain't got no understanding because don't nobody like themselves. Maybe they're a match made in hell. Let them stay there as long as they need to. Remove yourself. You are the common denominator. Yeah, look, I can't make this up. So you got side eye. Somebody wants to come in bearing roses, flowers, gifts, money. You side eyeing this person like, I feel like you still the same raggedy ass little bastard. Look at the way she's looking at that like, do I want these flowers? You know I like flowers, but I don't know. You know I like gifts. You know my favorite perfume. You know my favorite candy. Listen, you know, but I just feel like you got some type of funky ass ulterior motive. It's a side-eyeing energy for you. It's a nail-biting situation for them because you've rejected their punk asses because they're a jackass is what they are. They're an ass. They're an ass, honey. Somebody's got their ass on their face and their face on their ass. They're quite noticeable. Side eye. Somebody's coming in with an apology. You're unsure. Does this person have motives? Hell yeah, they got motives. And somebody's trying to trap you. Okay. Well, what they call is a love child. Okay. I just heard love child running wild. And you got Shady McGrady in the reverse. Yeah, you know exactly what this person got going on. Ain't nobody falling for this, okay? Could be a feminine, a karmic feminine trying to trap a man, and or a karmic masculine, whatever it is. The plan has been exposed, extinguished on all timelines, forever and ever, for all of eternity, and that's just what it is. Listen, if y'all can get y'all some of this commercial break, okay? If you can get you a little blue magic. It comes in a powder. Oh, excuse me. It comes in a powder. Put you a little bit of ginger powder in that, spring water, a little bit of cinnamon, and thank me later. Thank me later for that. That is amazing. When I tell you, it has me feeling really, like I'm going to come back with more readings. That's what I feel. What I want for myself, I want for y'all too. Y'all absolutely need to drink this. I need to also put my beet powder in there. I like powders, y'all. I work well with powders, okay? So I have the kelp powder, the beet powder, aloe powder, because when I'm making my smoothies, I could just take a scoop and put it in. And it's so concentrated when it's a powder. liquid form, because you can get it into your bloodstream faster. I just took like a little bit of sip of that, y'all. When I tell you my whole body feels amazing right now, whew, get you some of that as best you can. It's quite inexpensive. Do your research. I always say, always do your research. Comment down below if you have any tips. Listen, this forum is for people of high frequency. Our frequency is so high over here that negativity does not survive the live stream. That's why they come in and out. That's why there's 500 people watching and 97 likes. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's okay. So if this resonated, give it a thumbs up. If it didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you're still not sure if I vibe with you or you like my vibe and you're new, give it a thumbs to the side. But just remember, when you give it a thumbs to the side, those two thumbs are pointing back at you, and you got to look at yourself. How many fingers I got up? Somebody's going to be like, you got up 5 fingers. Hell no. I got up 4 fingers and 1 thumb. I love y'all, okay? Take what resonates, okay? And just leave the rest maybe for somebody else to process and digest. But if this resonates, let it marinate. I love y'all so much. I will see you in the next video. Until then, as always, peace be with you.